I picked up a 2024 Jackson guitar, yeah, a well-known brand, for only $159. Let's see how good it is. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and yeah, I just recently did a review on a $200 guitar that I picked up off of Amazon from Leo Jaymz. Nice guitar, had some things that needed to be worked out. I had to replace the tuners and a little setup on the guitar. And it's actually a really good guitar. The finish on that thing is fantastic. But you know what, Jackson, well-known brand, and I got an email from them about their 2024 guitars. I believe this is one of their latest. It's on the lower end of their stuff. So the question is a $159 Jackson guitar any good? All right, so let's go ahead and open her up and find out. Okay, so we got a box inside of a box. And this might be upside down, but the writing on it is upside like that. So let's just see. Oh, okay, so it is not a box inside of a box. It's more like a tray inside of a box. Let's see here. I need a bigger studio. All right, there's a little bit of tape in here, and this is what it looks like. All right. So far, that guitar from Amazon, the Leo Jaymz, was actually packaged better. Yeah, this is the JS11 Dinky AHFB 22 fret and white. Neck feels thin already. That's pretty much it for that box. Got an owner's manual. Inside of that big bag, there's a couple of loose Allen wrenches here. You would think they would kind of put them all into one, but I will do that now. You know, I like all types of music, but, you know, probably one of my greatest loves is metal. I just love the chug, you know what I'm saying? So there's your tremolo bar. And Jackson, well, they've always been a brand that was kind of synonymous with metal, you know? All right, rubber band. I really don't even remember exactly what this thing looks like. I ordered it and went, okay, I'll just forget about it. And it's been sitting in a box in here for about 3 days, so, oh man. All right, the familiar Jackson headstock. Oh boy, it's like Christmas. That is pretty. Pop that off of there. 1, 2, 3, just a 3-way switch. Metal knobs on here, so that's nice. And it's a good looking guitar, man. I'm pleasantly surprised with that already. The neck feels really good. It's a nice thin neck. It's got the satin finish on the back of it. One thing I noticed right off the bat, Jackson is kind of known for the shark fin thing on the frets, but these fret markers are just your basic, you know, inlays, just little dots. Even the back of the guitar looks pretty good. We've got some nice routing here and everything. The tremolo that's on here looks like what you get on most of the Amazon guitars, so we'll see how that goes. Oh, and this is nice. Instead of having the old-fashioned buttons on here for your straps, these are the kind that are flat, so that's really good. The guitar feels good. It's not too heavy. All right, no tuning or anything else. Let's just see how it comes right out of the box. And that's not too terribly tuned. The strings actually don't feel too bad either. Yeah, they're a little heavy. Got a little bit of flexibility to them. Little fret buzz. A little bit of fret buzz right there. You know, it's not too bad. All right. All right, it needs some tuning. So I'm gonna go ahead and tune this up. We'll plug it in and we'll check it out. All right, I got her all tuned up and the tuners aren't all that bad. There's a little bit of sloppage in there, but once I got this thing tuned, it stays in tune. Now, as far as the tremolo, I have not put that on there yet. We'll do that later because I don't know that it's gonna stay in tune with that. We don't have locking tuners on here and there is no locking nut. And these aren't the best tremolos out there, so we'll see how it goes. I've got it plugged into this Kiesel Mini and I've really been enjoying this amp. I'll do a video on this one real soon. I've got the Shure SM57 mic and a Marshall 412 cab. This is the JCM 800 Lead 1960. have one of these cheaper tremolos on here, sometimes I like to do a good bend on here just to see if it actually lifts the tremolo up. So let's try that. Yeah, sounds all right. All right, well, let's go ahead and put the tremolo arm on there. It's a pop-in one. It's kind of a friction type of thing, and it does stay in position, so. E string sounds like it's still in tune. So you can get a real dive bomb on this, but yeah. Some locking tuners on this thing would definitely help out. And these strings, they might not be exactly stretched out. You know, I did check the website, and these strings are 9 to 42, so I don't know. They don't seem that way, though, because I use Ernie Ball Super Slinkies, and these are definitely stiffer. I'm going to tune this thing up again real quick. Now, I was fully expecting this thing to go out of tune. I would have been surprised if it didn't. You know, the tremolos, they're just not the best for staying in tune. And these are the original strings that were on it when I got it. And I did notice that a couple of the strings had some denting. Maybe that was from shipping and them being pressed against the fretboard or something. I don't know. But hey, strings are strings. You're probably going to replace them. In fact, I recommend you replace the strings right off the bat. What I wanted to do is a quick tone comparison between this and the Leo Jaymz guitar that I featured recently. So let's do that. I'm going to do the same song. All right, playing the same chords on the Leo Jaymz Tempest. You know, I gotta tell you, even though that has those high output pickups on it, the humbuckers, these active pickups, they sound more gritty and edgier. So there we go, the Jackson JS11. This is Snow White, which I believe, or Snowy White, I believe is a new color for 2024. I don't think that the guitar has changed or they've updated that. Just the color is new for 2024. I could be wrong though. Overall, this is a nice guitar. You know, if this had been the guitar that I had gotten as my first guitar, which I got a really, really crappy Gibson SG copy from Duffy's Music in Mira Mesa, it was pretty horrible. But you know, the thing about that is that the strings were so high off of the neck on that when I finally did get a guitar that played right, I was like, oh my God, it's like butter. So I don't know, maybe as a beginner guitar, it's not such a bad idea to have a guitar that doesn't have perfect action on it. This one, I have not done any setup on it, whereas with the Leo Jaymz Tempest, I had to do quite a bit of setup on it before it was even any good. Now, I will tell you that the neck on this thing is perfectly straight. I love the way that the back of the neck feels. I mean, it's a really good shape to it. They say that this is the Jackson Fast Neck, and overall, I think it's pretty well made. I mean, it is made, well, technically by Fender. Fender owns Jackson. This one made in China, which is why it makes sense that we have this tremolo on here, which I am not a huge fan of these tremolos. If you put locking tuners on here or something, it might actually work pretty well. But as it is, it's kind of unusable because it goes out of tune every time I use it. But again, it's a $159 guitar, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot. Metal knobs on here, a 3-way selector switch, and these Jackson high gain pickups that are on here, they work really well. They're ceramic though, they're not Alnico, and some people prefer to have Alnico magnets. Again, $159. The nut on this is not a bone nut or anything like that. It's just a black plastic nut. And the tuners on here, while they seem like they work a little bit better than other inexpensive guitars that I've gotten, they still have a little bit of sloppiness in them. But once I get them set, they stay tuned unless I, you know, hit that tremolo. The back of the guitar is actually really nice, and this routed area right here helps to get your hand in there so you can get to those higher frets. And you know, the neck is probably one of the best parts of this guitar. It is super straight. I love the shape of it. It is pretty fast. It's got that matte finish on the back of it. And each one of these frets is level, and the best part about it, like the Leo Jaymz Tempest, some of them were actually short. I've never seen that before where they're just slightly shorter than the others, and I was like, that is just weird. On this one, everything is consistent and nice. And of course, who doesn't like that pointy hockey stick head? Come on, that's metal. Aside from not liking this tremolo so much, there's a couple things like right here. Let me give you a close-up of that. That's a pretty big gap right there. And not only that, this part right here is actually sharp. So yeah, I'd say pretty much the pickups and the neck are the best parts of this guitar. I mean, the body is very nice. Compared to the Leo Jaymz Tempest, which took quite a bit of setup just to make the thing playable and to make it play well, this one plays pretty well right out of the box. If I'm gonna keep this one, I'll definitely swap out those tuners and put some locking tuners on there. Definitely swap out the strings. Oh, and I don't know if you can see this. I'll probably have to get a picture so I can show you up real close, but the fretboard is pretty dry, especially right there at the top. So I will definitely wax that fretboard. You know, with something like this, I don't want to be too picky. I literally bought this for $160 because I thought, hey, why not? Let's just see how good it is. I mean, I spend that much going out to dinner with my wife on a Friday night. So yeah, this would make a great project guitar, especially if you've got a couple more expensive guitars and you don't want to mess those up while you're learning how to do the things that you need to do to keep the guitar up. Do it on this. If you mess it up, it's not that big of a deal. Or if you've got a kid that wants to learn how to play guitar, this would probably be a great match for them. Or maybe you just got the itch and you want to get a new guitar, because that happens to me sometimes. I'm like, oh, I gotta go on. So yeah, there you go. I got this one directly from the Jackson website. I will put the link down there in the description. So ultimately for 160 bucks, I think it's a good buy. Hey, I've got a whole bunch of guitar content planned for the channel here. I've got the Bogner mini amp, the Kiesel mini amp, which I still haven't done a video on. I also got the Beat Buddy Mini 2, which is a pedal that does, well, it's basically going to be a metronome or basically a drum machine that you can control with your feet. So that's pretty cool. And I'm also working on doing an 80s new wave cover as a metal version of it. And I'm going to be using the Chaos Audio Stratus Pedal to try to emulate some of the sounds from the 80s, but as metalish, right? So that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned if you enjoy that kind of content. And I've also got electric skateboards, bikes, scooters, some solar panels and solar generators and stuff to put here in the channel. So if any of that sounds like it'll interest you, please do check that content out. Either way, I just want to thank you so much for your support. It's because of you that I'm able to do this. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's a red subscribe button down there and notification bell. If you click both of those, you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. Well, happy Friday to you. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.